What's going on? I'm out taking my walk with my Sculpt Touch waist trainer. I try to walk at least an hour a day, so that's like well over a mile because it takes me 20 minutes to walk a mile. So I try to walk maybe 2 miles, 2.5 miles a day. But, I got to build my strength and get back to being in these Atlanta streets. But I'm back in Atlanta, for those who didn't know. And I want to discuss some things that I've noticed, which a lot of stuff that I'll be discussing is stuff that I noticed, hence living abroad versus being back in America, that I think needs to be something that we discuss as a people. So let's get into it. Now, for those who don't know, when I was 19, 20, I got pregnant and I got married to my son's father. The marriage didn't last, over 5, 6, 7, 10 years like I would have wanted it to. Not because, don't get it twisted. I'm not feeling no type of way like, oh, I miss my ex-husband. But I just feel like, seeing that now I see how life is, it would have been cool if me and my husband could have been able to work it out, raise our family, and make sure that my son was raised in a double, two-family home, two-parent home, not two-family, two-parent home, and, had more children, stuff like that, but it didn't work out. But, I since was married a few more times after that. I'm like a wife type. I'm not really a girlfriend type. And any relationship that I've been in was serious. But I want to get into it because I realized that a lot of women in my demographic have not been married. Like, it's kind of sad that I know more women Black American women that are not married, never been married, never been proposed to. Some don't have children. Then I know women that are married, right? And I get that whole feminist movement of, I'm happy being single, I don't need a man. I mean, everybody is not meant to have a marriage. Everybody's not meant to be a mother. Some people are born to be single for the rest of their life, and they're happy with that. Some people aren't born to be mothers. Some people are born to be mothers. Some people are born to be wives. And there's some people that aren't, right? But I'm going to keep it funky. And let's just be honest. A lot of those women who are in their 40s and 50s that's never been married and don't have children, they regret it. They're not happy. Now, some women might not want to admit it, but when it comes to life, you need a life partner. Having a husband is essential, especially when you're facing 50, because in 4 years, I'll be 50, and these are conversations that I had to have with myself. Now, the things that I see in other countries, Dubai, Nigeria, Ghana, Turkey, those women be married. Now, I'm not saying every marriage is a happy marriage, because I don't believe that you should be in a marriage if you're unhappy, But I also believe that being with someone that's outside of yourself, it takes work. It takes a lot of work to be married, But I noticed that the women that I met that were in their 40s and 50s, I only met one woman that had a child since I've been living abroad that wasn't married. Or shall I say, hadn't been married. Because I met another one who was Turkish that wasn't married. But she had been married to her. Well, she'd been married twice. To her child's father. And then she was married to a Nigerian. Now, I think it's sad in the Black American culture, in my demographic, which I'm 46. So, 40 and up, 40 and 50. I know so many Black Americans that haven't been married. I know so many men that's never had a wife. I know so many women that's never been a wife. And in other cultures, this is unheard of. You don't have a husband. You have babies. I know a girl that got 10 kids and they got 9 husbands. And having a husband is not the end all be all to life. But if you got a bunch of kids, you need to be married to one of them kids' daddies. I think it's terribly sad that it's not common in the Black American culture to be married. And you got all these other nationalities come to America and thrive. Families from Mexicans to Asians to Africans to Europeans, to islanders. They come here, marry, thrive, raise their family, put their kids through college, buy houses, and have a beautiful life. Meanwhile, you got women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s talking about how it's piss in the dating pool when it comes to Black America. And I'm not blaming, a particular gender. I'm not blaming the women. I'm not blaming the men. I'm blaming the environment in which we have been cultivated in. And I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's because I grew up, I didn't grow up in the two-family home, but I grew up with grandparents who had been married for 60 plus years, aunties and uncles that were married, my mama in long-term relationships. So I had an idea of what's it like to be a wife. And though, my relationship with my husband is complicated now, I'm still a wife. I still had that experience. And best to believe, in 2026, I won't be single. Just to believe I won't. But I just think it's really sad that in the Black American community, you see more baby mamas, more single women than you do wives. You see more men in their 40s still trying to turn up at the club, still trying to be a YN while having children, and ain't trying to be somebody's husband, somebody's suitable, productive, sustainable husband. And I think this shit is sad for real because, children deserve to grow up in a two-family household. Women deserve to be wives. Men deserve to be a husband and treated with that husband love. Because I'm going to tell you, fellas, that husband love, it hit differently. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, too, that husband love, that partner love, it hit differently. Though I might have made some mistakes and, didn't choose the right one or didn't really fight for my marriage, I'm learning and I'm not accepting that narrative. Like I seen Oprah talk about being single and, Tracy Ellis Ross being single. That's fine for you. Oprah, you a billionaire, right? But for Tasha that live down the street, or Keisha who got 5 kids by 5 different baby daddies, girl. And I'm not trying to shame, because last time I said something about 5 different baby daddies, somebody who probably had multiple baby daddies felt some type of way, it was in my comments. But I'm just saying, for y'all, let's soften up. Let's stop being in our alpha female masculine energy. Let's soften up so we can be wise. Broaden up your horizon, find some hobbies, find some interests, and meet you a man that's ready to be a husband. And fellas, this trying to be a player, this trying to have multiple women and not be committed to nobody and be responsible at 40, 50, hang it up. It's time for you to be somebody's husband and be responsible. And if you ain't trying to be nobody's husband, move over to the side. Stop fornicating with these women and stop wasting their time. And ladies, if he ain't trying to be somebody's husband, don't waste your time. You should not be spreading your legs to nobody. If you over 40, I had to stop walking for this. If you over 40, you should not be wasting your time having miscellaneous relations with a man who's not trying to build a life with you. And if you fine with being casual, that's cool. But when you 60, 70 and you in that house by yourself, don't complain and don't go get you a young man and think that's going to fix it, because all he going to do is take your check. So I just had to address it because I know, I'm always trying to show y'all the difference in what I realized from living abroad. And, them Nigerian marriages can be a little corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Not every marriage is perfect. And that comes from a person not being with the person that they really supposed to be with, which is a spiritual thing, which we're going to talk about that in another video. But I just had to address the difference that I seen from American to other cultures, okay? Or other nationalities, shall I say. And I'm out. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.